I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I've been really struggling with like the mental side of bodybuilding the past few days, with the sleepless nights and the hospital stay. I've stayed on meal plan, but it seems like my body isn't really reacting well to the lack of sleep, and it's really disheartening. But you just got to trust the process and keep on. So today we're gonna go meal prep 9 pounds of chicken, 2 pounds of beef, and 4 pounds of ground turkey. And we're gonna talk about leg training and body image issues and all that stuff. So we got chicken, ground turkey, and ground beef. So the first thing to do is to clean the chicken and get it ready to cook. What I like to do is I like to get a bowl and turn some water on lightly, lukewarm. We're gonna start with the chicken breasts, and on the chicken you always have this excess fat. So I like to run under some water to get the goo off, and then you just start pulling the fat off and putting it down in the collection bowl. And we're gonna do that for all 9 pounds. This makes it a little bit healthier, gets rid of some of the fat, but also gets rid of all that goo, so you're not cooking the chicken in its own stank. And then, one by one, I put them over on a cookie sheet so that I can then season them. And the past few days have been pretty strange. My significant other had surgery on day 11. So I had a day spent in the hospital and a night spent in the hospital, and then some nights spent on the couch to make sure she's good to go. So not complaining or anything, but you know, when you're low on sleep, your body reacts, and it seems like I had high cortisol. My body is holding a lot of water. Digestion is a little bit difficult. And of course, the one we all expect, energy, is just a little bit low. So things don't look good in the mirror. Things don't look good on the scale. Performance kind of sucks in the gym. But that's life, and we all can't be professionals that this is the only thing that matters, and because we're getting paid for it, we're allowed to ignore everything else in our life. You got to roll with the punches, and at the end of the day, you have to remember that this is a hobby, and there are other things that matter a lot more than the gym. The only thing you can do is pack your food, eat on time, and try to move. That being said, yesterday, day 14, my check-in pictures were okay. The scale was back to where it was before the hospital, but I was tired. Kind of looked flat. So yesterday after training, I had a cheat meal. My brother and my sister-in-law bought us some takeout, and we split that on the couch. And so this morning, I'm up 1.5 pounds. As you can see, I'm looking bigger, I'm looking fluffy, I'm looking full. Not exactly what you want, but it's expected from the influx of salt and calories. So today is all about drinking water, sweating, and moving all that extra out of the system, just flushing the system. And I'm pretty sure that I'll look good. I woke up this morning extremely hungry, which means it fueled my metabolism, which is good. The only problem with those excess calories that I'm not used to is that when I tried to go to bed last night, it's like my brain and my system were just running on overtime. So I was very hot and I couldn't get cold, but it was one of those things where you throw off the covers and then you're suddenly cold, and then you put the covers back on and you're suddenly hot, and your brain is going a mile a minute from all of the sugars and salt. And anyways, the sleep was really difficult last night. All right, so we got our chicken cleaned and all over this big huge cookie sheet. So we're gonna bring it over next to the oven and we're gonna season it. I am just going to go with salt and pepper today. We've been seasoning it with other stuff, but I want just a little bit of a change. So we're going to take away the seasoning and just have plain chicken with salt and pepper. Now, we preheat the oven to 350. While that is preheating, we're going to start working on the ground beef. So get you some type of bowl, and we're going to throw this ground beef into the bowl. And if you don't remember how I got this ground beef, I'll insert a clip from a previous video here. Now, ground beef is harder. If you buy it in bulk, the price comes down. If you go to Costco, knock on the butcher window and you ask them for the ground chub, you are going to get a 10 or 11 pound log of ground beef. It's going to be 90% lean at the least. I take that home and I cut it up into 2-pound blocks, saran wrap it, put it in a freezer bag, and I throw it in the freezer. So we're just going to unwrap this and we're going to throw it into our bowl. Now, the object of working on this ground beef is for easy portion control and storage. I'm going to make hamburger patties. This way we know what the raw weight of the patty is so that we can log it all week. And we're not trying to log cooked weight, which changes depending upon the amount of grease or water or seasoning. And then it's not just ground beef that is in the fridge, right? It's going to be self-contained patties. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to season these guys. This guy. Salt, pepper, and I like this Kirkland organic no salt seasoning. It's just like garlic, all the different kinds of peppers, and like black pepper, red pepper, and then you have like all the different bell peppers and everything. Smash your meat down a little bit. Create a lot of surface area. Throw in some seasoning. Clear salt and pepper. And now we mix. So now that this ground beef is good and mixed, we're going to create individual patties. Now I've done this long enough. This is about 2 pounds of ground beef, and that turns into roughly 650 gram patties. So get you a plate and a food scale, zero it out, and we're going to start making some patties here. And I got to be honest with you, I had a pretty shitty leg training day, and I think it was shitty simply because I wasn't having great connection with my legs, if that makes any sort of sense. Probably from the lack of sleep, probably from the slight dehydration that was going on. The workout still bears kind of going over. I started my workout with some abductors. And I really like starting my leg workouts this way because I really feel like it just opens everything up. It's a movement I also can't really go that heavy on. So it's a good way to start the workout, open your hips up, get yourself primed for being able to have control in your hip area. You know, your abductors connect back into your glutes, and they connect down the side of your leg, which is near your quads and your hamstrings. So it kind of helps you to start firing. It doesn't necessarily fire those muscles, but it'll have you start in that direction. I think I did about 3 sets, and I was just trying to do anywhere from like 8 to 15 reps. Next, I moved on to hamstrings, right? I like doing hamstrings next because all of your squatting, pressing movements, your hamstrings are going to be the main stabilization force for you, then your quads to fire. So I like starting my working sets for legs off with hamstrings. Even if it's a quad only day, still do hamstrings. And I've been really digging this superset lately, which is like a leg curl supersetted with Romanian deadlifts. So I was able to do seated leg curls today. So I went ahead and did those and moved over to the Romanian deadlift. I think I worked up and I did a top set and then I did a back off set for each. 175 on the leg curl, and then 3 plates for the Romanian deadlift, and my back off set was 20% less ish. All right, so those beef patties ended up weighing 146 grams a piece, and there are 6 of them. So now I can put that in my meal tracking and increase chicken or whatever accordingly to make up the protein difference if there is any. Now we're gonna get this chicken searing, so we're gonna wait for this pan to get hot. I like to use this avocado spray. Higher smoke point, doesn't turn or taste rancid. This spray spout really sucks though, so just know that. Then I moved over and I hit adductors. I feel like the adductors are more closely tied into your quads, but they also curl around into your hamstrings. So now my hamstrings are primed. I can hit my adductors, so that kind of ties into the hamstring, but also will get my quads primed for the next movement. I did 3 sets here again, just trying to have really slow, controlled eccentrics and powerful squeezing concentrics. The abductors and the adductors are going to be the outer part of your leg. So if you can develop those, it's going to give an illusion of a larger leg if you're struggling to increase your hamstring or your quad size. So definitely hit those and hit those before you're exhausted. All right, let's get this chicken going. And seasoning on top. After I do like a 2-minute sear on each side. Get some good color. Beautiful. So we're gonna turn the heat off, throw it in the oven, and we're gonna go with 27 minutes. Next, we formed hamburger patties out of the ground beef. We're gonna do the exact same thing with the ground turkey. This is like 3.5 pounds of ground turkey. So we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna dump these into a bowl. We're gonna season them exactly the same as I seasoned the beef. This actually makes the ground turkey taste like meatloaf. And I'm going to form 9 like ground turkey patties. Experience has taught me that this is roughly 170 grams per patty. They are all 171 grams. So now, all the meat is prepped and it becomes a waiting game for things coming out of the oven. All right, round 1 of chicken is coming out. I like alternating how I cook my meat. So, with chicken and with ground beef, you get a lot of excess liquid in the pan, whether that's from fat or water or whatever. So it gives the turkey a little something to have to not stick. After I did my adductors, I wanted to move along to the next set of movements. So I did I wanted to activate my quads and get them primed for pressing or squatting. And I also wanted to finish off my hamstrings. So the thought being that I did a hamstring squeezing, a hamstring stretching, and now I can do another hamstring squeezing. So push blood, stretch it, and push more blood. So this superset that I did was leg extensions and lying leg curls. And I can't remember if I did 2 or 3 sets here. But I tried to keep the weight under control, not too heavy. For the quads, this is the first thing I'm doing for them. So I don't want to go too heavy and like hurt my knees, right? This is more about getting a really good squeeze, pushing blood, feeling the quad. And then for the hamstrings, my hamstrings were completely fucked after that superset I did. So I just literally can't move as much weight as I would like to. And even you can see, like when I'm doing these hamstring curls, like my butt didn't want to completely stay down. I didn't feel the movement in my lower back or my glutes, so that's good. But I think it was just so much fatigue had already set into my hamstrings that I still went a little too heavy, even though I was 45 pounds under what I usually try to curl. Yeah, these look great. So after I did leg curls and leg extensions, this is when I wanted to add some heavy pressing squatting. So I decided to hop on the hack squat machine. I had a really hard time feeling the hack squat. I did my normal weight, so I worked up and I did a set with 4 plates. Still got really good depth and everything. But for some reason, I didn't feel it in my quads a lot. Right, so I did that set with 4 plates, and then I decided, I'm going to back off the weight. I'm going to move my feet down a little bit so that I can have my knees travel further over my toes, and I did a set with 3 plates. I felt that a little bit more, but I still wasn't having the good connection that I usually do. So I decided to strip off 1 more plate, go down to 2 plates per side, and I had my feet much lower on the plate. And I did another set, and I still didn't feel those really well, but I can tell you that when I got done with all 3 of those sets, my legs were wobbly and I was just completely exhausted. So like they did their job, I just wasn't having a good mind-muscle connection, I guess. Anyhow, these are looking pretty good, so we're gonna get them in the oven. 15 minutes. Round 2 of chicken. When I finished those shitty hack squats, I wanted to do some walking lunges, but the like turfy runway area was taken. So I opted to do static lunges instead. I was going to do 2 sets of these. So I threw a plate on each side, and I wanted to do like 2 sets of 12, and I did 1 set of 10, and somewhere on the 9th rep or the 10th rep, I tweaked the hamstring on my left leg. it just got really hot, and supporting myself on the way down just hurt. So I tried to do the second set, and on the very first rep I called it quits. So I only did one set there, and hopefully my leg is going to be a-okay. But it was a well-conceived leg workout that I feel that maybe I didn't execute it well because of lack of sleep, lack of water, something. So I still recommend you to give that workout a try. But I'm gonna flip this second round of chicken, and we'll get it in the oven, and then we'll do the turkey, and then the chicken, and then we'll hit the ground beef. So while we're cooking all this meat, I'm struggling with the body image issue stuff right now. I think I was on a bulk for so long, and I got so big that you're really accustomed to seeing yourself kind of bigger, fuller. Your performance in the gym is higher. You feel stronger, and all of that sort of starts to go away. I think my particular genetics are also a little problematic for this. I'm a torso dominant individual, so my arms and my legs and my face don't really get big easily. It's like the last place I put weight on, and it's also the first place I start taking weight off. So when I start going about losing weight, it's just like my arms and my legs start shrinking first, and that is disheartening. I mean, as meatheads, we all want big arms, and as bodybuilders, we all want big legs. And for those to start disappearing, but your midsection fluff still remains, it's just really hard to deal with. So we gotta just keep pushing through. The other thing I'm gonna start doing this week is I'm gonna start taking a fat burner and yohimbine to help with the thermogenesis and fasted cardio in the mornings, to try to speed that process up slightly, right? So we'll see how that goes. For today, it's about training calves and chest, drinking lots of water. I think I'm gonna mow the yard, just try to move and sweat as much as possible to get yesterday's cheat meal excess to leave the body. We've got all of our meat cooked, our turkey breast burgers, ground beef patties, and we have enough chicken to last for a while. So this is all the meat we cooked today, plus a couple of things I had left over. It was a successful bulk meat day, so now on to working out and recovering. Do me a favor and go ahead, like this video, leave me a comment. What do you think? And if you want to see how the rest of the journey goes, subscribe to the channel. And until next time, cheers.